Yes, yes, y'all. It's day two, Sprappesode, Ken's Twitter 10, 8/21, 2012. It's a Tuesday. It's 11 change East Coast time. I have logged my tweets for the day, as you can see right here. I've got a couple dates here in this pivot table. We're going to go through and we're going to dig through all these people, find out who's the best, who's the worst, who we're going to lose, who we're going to add. I don't even know who we're going to add yet, but I have done a little pre-screen and I'm a little bit worried of the tweets I've seen. So what I've got here is I've got different dates. We could totally show all the tweets from all days, and it would look like this. There's been 53 total. Where it's blank here is all just regular tweets from these people. When I open this up, these are all the people I follow, the 10 I follow. These are retweets, so this is retweets by Seth MacFarlane, retweets by Whiskey and Feet. So you open it up and you find out who retweeted, who they retweeted, and we'll get into that stuff later. Well, let's look at just today, because we're doing this one day at a time. We eliminated Jon Stewart books yesterday. He's gone. Poor Jon Stewart. So let's find out what's going on today. And that always does that. Don't worry about it. So, tweets by tweeter. One of the new additions yesterday, Dad Boner. Dad's tweets. I already have. This was recommended by Gorf, Germany or Florida, from the Corolla message board, Corolla boards. I'll show you a little bit later. Well, one thing, let's look at the chart real quick. You can see that here the graph of all the tweets for the day. This is really a total distribution from just Tuesday. Dad Boner has the most, tied with Kurzweil basically. They both had 7 tweets. It's interesting that they say different percentages there. They shouldn't. Whiskey and Feet had 4, and then you get broken down with the retweets here. Interesting. Tweets and then more retweets. So. Well, I mean, how do we judge this? We've got somebody with 7 tweets. Is that going to hurt him or help him, right? Are we looking for the best one? Are we looking for a per tweet quality? I don't know, really. We're going to have to see. But let's dig through it. And we've got, break these out by lines, make them a little bit easier. So I'm putting borders on here so that we can, if I can see what's going on. Yeah, so we can see these a little bit better. So, Mr. Dadboner says, can't enjoy a Supreme Zuh with all the toppings when another man is next to you shooting body spray up his back door, you guys. There are some inside jokes here that I think I'm missing. This stuff's pretty raunchy, and it's following a similar line of humor. I don't know who this Cooter is. Was enjoying a Supreme DiGiorno. Cooter sat down and sprayed the axe, said double pits, chesty, and balls, and a whole ruined my stack. So this is a one-trick pony from from Dad Boner. Maybe I got played by Germany or Florida. It's mildly amusing, so I'm gonna keep him on the list, but I'm gonna bring him down a notch. So let's make him 9th, and then that will leave Corolla boards up to 8th. And we have now done Dad Boner, and I'll do a quick little sort, and that'll move. There you go. Now Dad Boner has knocked down to 9th, just because I'm getting a little bit scared. But all right, so we'll move on from Dad Boner. I don't think he's that long to live on this list. One account that is here, going to be here forever, is Kurzweil AI News. I really mean that, forever. Of course, I've read through a few of these already. Let's see here. I didn't read what this one was. I didn't really get into that. I did not read into this one either. First Atomtronic radio broadcast. I don't know what the hell that means. I mean, radio waves or radio waves. What is an atomic radio wave? What? We will have to go into that and figure out what that is. That seems really interesting. New aerogel space age insulating materials, world's lightest. Aerogel is aerogel is almost see-through. It's crazy. It looks like it's a block, and it's really ridiculously light, and it's almost transparent, and it's amazingly tough and can harness things. They used aerogel to suck up pieces of a comet that went by. They actually had little pieces of aerogel as like repositories for flying bits of comet debris and different things that are in the tail of a comet, because they stick halfway through the aerogel. The stuff would be going tens of thousands of miles per hour, probably in the hundreds, if not thousands of miles per second. And this stuff will stick in the middle of the aerogel. It won't flow all the way through. It won't shatter it. It's really light and crazy stuff. It's amazing how NASA came up with this. So now I guess at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, which I believe is in California, don't quote me on that, they have now come up with, I guess, the lightest version of the aerogel. So good for them. Cramming for a test, don't do it, says UCLA researchers. Yeah, the whole test cramming thing. Who remembers what they stuff into their brain at the very last minute? You're just trying to extend your short-term memory for a few hours instead of just a few minutes, and it doesn't work long-term. Of course, you need a more systemic way to learn things. That's pretty obvious. Molecular code for destroying, correcting defective RNA crack. RNA is the stuff that comes off the DNA, the copy of the DNA. You get your double helix DNA that makes everybody unique, and then as it gets read and gets copied, RNA is what's get copied and goes out into the cytoplasm or into part of the cell where it then helps generate proteins and talks to other parts of the cell. So this is really interesting because molecular code for destroying, correcting defective RNA. If defective RNA is what's coming off of DNA, that's really the that's the signal in the game of telephone when you're passing the message around. If each little message that is passed is really RNA, and if you can fix that and correct it, I mean, this is something worth reading. Clearly, this is Western Australia University. Phenomenal discovery if somehow they have broken, because then you're going to be able to reconstruct human beings. Human beings are just proteins. And RNAs are making proteins. If you can attack the RNA at the source, you can do a lot of repairs to humans on this molecular level. So that seems really incredible. IBM sets world record for PV solar cell powered conversion efficiency. PV is photovoltaic. IBM material science team has partnered with, well, anything that's enhancing the efficiency of solar cells is a good thing because solar cells are just taking free energy from the sun. If you can get it for free, the sun is your energy whore. If you can get it for free, why get married to fossil fuels? Why get into a long-term commitment with a chicken or fish $20,000 wedding with coal or natural gas when you can just stare up at the sky and get some free sun ass anytime you want? That's why photovoltaic and any other type of energy that's using the sun's energy to generate is a great idea. We should all just keep going down that train. So usually I'm not a huge fan of IBM, but I still like what they do. Big Bang or Big Chill, quantum graffiti theory. Oh, by the way, aphids. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Aphids. If you watch yesterday's episode, I got it. Aphids. Big Bang or Big Chill, quantum gravity. So, the Big Bang or the Big Chill. I didn't know that they were mutually exclusive because you could still have a Big Bang with a Big Chill. The Big Chill is just saying that everything in the universe just keeps expanding, gets further apart, and kind of like burns itself out, just like a firecracker. Just dissolves, a big huge firecracker comes out like a palm tree and then just eventually dissolves. That's what they say may happen with the Big Chill. I'm not a fan of the Big Chill. I think it's kind of BS. I think the universe is always moving around and mixing up the bowl, and there really can't be a Big Chill. Space and time just don't really work that way. There is some... that's a bad sign. Excel stopped working. Excel, it's time for Excel 2010 on this computer. I said before. I guess say it again. Oh, we're back. Let's recover. Let your lesson be learned. Did we recover? Sort of. Where were we? We were under Kurzweil, weren't we? Yeah, we were. And we were talking about the Big Bang and the Big Chill. Nobody really knows. You want to go back? You can't go back a couple hundred. You can go back 2,000 years and find Jesus. How can you go back 15.3 billion and find the beginning of time? I mean, any physicist who's confident that it's Big Bang, I'm damn sure there's a lot of questions. An infinitely dense point where everything starts, that kind of sounds a little fuzzy. And then what happened before time? All four forces of nature weren't combined at the beginning. There's a lot of ifs there, a lot of complicated stuff. But yeah, Kurzweil AI maintaining the #1 spot with phenomenal tweets. Now, Whiskey and Feet, you need to redeem yourself for yesterday. Have you done that? I don't know. I don't get fantasy football. Fantasy is a naughty librarian or 2 chicks at once, not football. I sort of get that. That's not a bad tweet. Fantasy, anything. It's about a time factor. You're talking to a guy who's sprapping his tweets in Excel about wasting time, but fantasy, I never saw the benefit of it unless you're betting like a ridiculous amount of money, and if you're doing that, you're still wasting hours. Like, I can remember back when I used to intern for the IRS many years ago, back in college, summers of college, and that fantasy and all that stuff was really big back then. This is late 90s, and I remember watching or reading the biography of a guy who won ESPN's fantasy football, or maybe it was baseball, one of those years, and the first sentence was, Bob had a job where he had to show up at 6 a.m. and he's on the East Coast, so he was able to make trades while everyone else in the country was still asleep. And I'm like, that's great. You get up and you go to work and you do nothing but fucking fantasy football. Yeah, there's not enough there. I agree with you, Whiskey and Feed. So that's a good one. At Admiral Akbar, so now we're doing Star Wars jokes. Although Admiral Akbar is probably a person. I wonder if it's the actual actor who played Admiral Akbar in Star Wars. That would be cool. Hey, I doubt it is though. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number. So it's a trap. So that's a Carly Rae Jepsen Star Wars half and half reference. Twitter haiku me. These are better than yesterday. I mean, if you want to do, I'm going to do it. If you want to do a comparison to yesterday's stuff, yesterday, he had "I hate my legs" there. I said it. I want to join the Red Hat Society. This is just absolute shit. So we can assume that he has perhaps got the message. I think Tar Basket may have told him, as we'll see in a little bit. So these are better, but you can't believe everything you read on Twitter. Harriet Tubman. You can use somebody better than Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman. It's slave railroad stuff. It's too many years before Twitter. You can't believe everything you read on Twitter. Who would be a better joke for that? What's her face? The blind and deaf one. Come on. The one where they always make the joke, how to ruin her day is leave the plunger in the toilet. Come on. Blind and deaf. How many blind and deaf people are there that you've heard of? Helen Keller. Thank you. Helen Keller would have been a better one for that. Although there's probably like that website filled with Helen Keller jokes. So Whiskey and Feet, you were in 6. I am going to move you down. You're right on yet to Corolla Boards, who didn't have any posts at all, any tweets at all. On Monday. Now on Tuesday we have 2, and are they good? Should we keep following Corolla Boards? Sci-Fi's lovely Dana Workman stopped by to gab with Adam Carolla, and here's the link to the episode. Doing the deeds of AdamCarolla.com and feeding in the link. I saw the little TV promo with Dana Workman. Haven't got to listen to the interview yet. She seemed reasonably interesting and funny. She said something about, they talked a lot about Adam's penis, and it was horrible imagery or something, or scary imagery, or she used. It's kind of funny. So that's just a blanket advertising. That doesn't do a lot for me because I'm aware of that. But on is being gotten retweet. Giovanni Giorgio, hey everybody, my brand new Superfan sidebar is up on the Adam Carolla website. What? Giovanni, of course, somebody I've spoken to many times, although it's been a few years since I'm recording with. He is the autistic radio god of Adam Carolla and Superfan. It knows everything. Has it all memorized. I guess check it out. Giovanni sidebar. Superfan sidebar. What the hell is that? Alright, Corolla Boards, you're fine by me. I like that. I did not know that. If it's the highlight of the boards, good. I like that. So we're going to move Corolla Boards up. Let's remember that. SciShow, Hank Green, SciShow. He's got 2 tweets, and he uploaded a video, and I'm sure it's good. And Hank also explains the scientific reasons behind why we humans generally prefer to eat donut hamburgers to carrots. What is that all about? That's all about sugar. Back when nutrition was scarce and you weren't able to get as much food and as many calories for inexpensive and loss of time or energy as we do now, we were trained, you have something like sweet fruit or sugar, just flat out sugar. The body responds by being like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, awesome. Releases those things in your brain that make you feel super when you have that type of food. So we were, of course, trained to enjoy foods that have a higher sugar or sweeter content like that over what you would call healthier items, such as carrots and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's talking about how it's all about what food was available back in the day, and that it has trained our brains to enjoy donuts and hamburgers much more than carrots. So I'm sure that's what that's about. Excuse me. So SciShow is going to stay right where you are at number 4, because that's going to continue to be quiet. Now, Bob Richards, who did not have any tweets yesterday, he's a space guy who started following me. And interesting. Evac author asks, is NASA InSight a little too late? The InSight, the lander on Mars. And there's a link to a Washington Post article. It's never too late for NASA. It's never too late for space. But thanks for posting. Moon Express co-founder Naveen Jain. Yeah, there's more to be learned from Bob Richards. He does do a lot of posts to links and videos, and sort of not really a retweet, but a redisclosure of some material, and he puts it in this format often. You can tell he has a scientific mind. He puts everything in a similar format. I'm definitely going to keep my eye on Bob Richards. He's not going anywhere. Kenstock is me, which I uploaded the video from yesterday. And the video from yesterday was Kenstock Twitter 10 Sprappesode 1. This, of course, is Sprappesode 2 that you're watching right now. And Tard Basket. Tard Basket, my buddy, king of this message board here, right there, and designer behind the scenes. He makes one tweet, and I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Whiskey and Feet, you are a hater and a loser. What kind of fucking tweet is this? I told you I wouldn't eliminate you until you tweet at least once. This is a nothing tweet. But I'm giving you another chance. I'm not getting rid of you. I'm not getting rid of you. What am I going to do then? What am I going to get rid of? Whoops. Stop. You know what? I'm going to get rid of Dad Boner. That's what I'm going to do. Carl, sorry. Gorf, you had your day. Dad Boner's going away. Dad Boner's going away. You're staying at 10 though, Tard Basket. Let's move Corolla boards up to number 8. Dad Boner's just flat out gone, which means we're gonna have to fill a 9 spot with somebody. So let's sort this. Don't freeze on me again, Excel. I'm gonna be real pissed. Actually, we can just do this. So we're going to get rid of that. We have an open 9 spot now. And let's see if any of the retweets can fill this. So we're going to look at what things were retweeted. And Seth MacFarlane retweeted a couple things. Sherry Chiva. When I was 12, I thought all my teachers were 50, but they were like, I read this, they were like 27. I guess that just hit Seth MacFarlane at the home, and he thought about that in his growing up. I'm sure that people have done that. And then there was also here, this is a picture of a big person, a real person dressed like a chicken, and he says, I'm looking for Peter Griffin, ha ha ha, but whatever. So nothing there for me, but nothing out of Seth MacFarlane himself. I'm not going to blame people for their retweets, although maybe I should. Let's see. Now, Whiskey and Feet threw some other people on here, and I can see somebody already that I think I should follow, because I used to follow him and then I stopped following him, and that's Mr. Mike Lynch. And Mike Lynch has been pretty darn clever with his tweets, and I think he's going to win. There's Special Olympics and Paralympics. What about the other group that can't compete? We need B Club and larger Olympics. That's good. That's good. Chicks with tits cannot compete. it's a disadvantage. It's just like pregnancy is a disability. Look it up. It is. And yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, when's the last time you saw Dolly Parton doing the floor exercise? Doesn't happen, right? Katy Perry on the balance beam? I mean, we'd all pay a lot to see it, but no, it does not happen. You win, Mike Lynch tweets. You are in number 9, and you probably ascend. He does put up good tweets. Let's see if there's anybody else in here. Whiskey and Feet, Sandy Burns, no Todd. Okay, this is a pick. It's tough to review picks. Do we go and do we hyperlink and look into all picks, or are we just going to do a quick Twitter scroll? This I read. This was right now over 300,000 men are ejaculating worldwide. Super. I mean, that's not really. Not really. You could do an ejaculation list by time zone, you know, because you're going to find that ejaculation is generally going to be after dark, wouldn't you think? So, depending on when this was posted, if it was, well, it starts, I'm going to have to plan it given time, but that's just a running average. You can't really know. It probably varies. There's probably a very wavy graph. Sticky wavy graph of ejaculation times for men. Skull and Bones, Lamb of God, great footage of Randy's return at Knotfest is here. I don't know what that is. I don't care. BBB Baumgartner, yes, this news is true. Dunder Mifflin, okay, he lost The Office. Dunder Mifflin will stop selling paper on television following season 9. Yeah, I'm surprised that The Office has survived so long. It was really good in the beginning when it was believable, but as with any show that's fictional or drama, it just finds its way to get old when you can't have new material. You bring in people all you want, it's eventually going to die off. How many times can Jim look at the camera with, you know, it just doesn't, yeah, it's impossible to keep that going. So anyway, all right, so what have we learned here on Twitter? 821 Sprappesode 2. Kurzweil still just blowing everybody away strong. No direct tweets from Seth MacFarlane. I don't know where Elon Musk has been. He's been working, but I can remember his tweets from previous weeks, so he's living on reputation right now. SciShow standing strong. Stephen at home. See, I thought Stephen at home did make a post. Did it not filter into my table? Son of a bitch. I thought I remember seeing one about him being on vacation. I may have a Spratt problem, and I'll have to look into that. Whiskey and Feet, Bob Richards. Yeah, there's not much happening here. We're still learning what goes on here. But Mike Lynch has been added, even though he does. See, these two don't get along. Mike Lynch and Corolla Board don't get along after a comment by one of the Corolla Board's people about Larry Miller, a tasteless comment. Yet, yeah, maybe we can try to unite these two back together. And Tar Basket, you're hanging by a fucking thread, man. Do something tomorrow. All right, please. Come on. It's Sprappesode 3 on Wednesday. Dude, give me something. Let me keep you on the board. I don't want to lose you. All right? So, if you want to be followed, you've got something interesting to say, you know what to do. Contact Kinsuck, baby. I'll get you on here. So, that's it. Oh, that's a lot of video.